So I think we can say we have now achieved a perfect day on the river.
Oh, I think the torrential rain just hit us.
Quick stop at the post office this morning. Both Matt and I brought our really lightweight puffy jackets, thinking, we weren't sure exactly what to expect. We pretty much bring them everywhere as a just in case kind of thing. But a few weeks in, we realized just how ridiculous that was out here. We haven't even got close to using them, so we're gonna send those home.
And with the usual mix of morning chaos and productivity, we are about to get going here. We are pretty much ready to go, but I'm just in mourning because that hole has like 70-degree dry air coming out of it, which is glorious. And we're about to head back into 90-degree humidity. The lady that owns that Airbnb lives right next door. So of course, we got delayed a little more because I had to talk with her for a while. While Jen splayed out on the ground and looked impatient. And now our goal is to try and get back into the water with more ease and style than we got out of the water. Well, it might look like we pick our route, particularly for places with broken sidewalks, rail tracks, requiring me to walk through traffic. We're just lucky like that. So it was 91 degrees when we pulled out last night per a sign I saw. I don't know how hot it is right now, but it feels warmer. We're just really hoping there's at least a little breeze on the water. So I have no idea what the purpose of this is, other than maybe to make sure the marina behind us doesn't like run too low and scrape, but looks impressive. And we are off, and we are extremely warm. But we need to get away from all this runoff and whatnot before we can take a swim break, I think. I've decided that next time we're inside of an Airbnb or something, I need to video myself sitting in the nice air conditioning. That way I can play it back in times like these and just remember when I was happy. This just feels weird. For days we've had people in jet skis running all over the place, and now it's like everybody's gone. Which probably doesn't help our chances of getting that cold beer that I keep hoping for, but
we
again,
did cold beer last night.
I missed Somali pirate back there. Yeah, that we had to buy ourselves, Jen. I wanted not only cold beer, but to feel the secondhand joy that comes from somebody giving cold beer to us, and the firsthand joy that comes from drinking said cold beer.
And our host said we were the most interesting people that have ever stayed there.
So unfortunately, that's where we decided to take out last night, which was a bit more of a challenge than the boat dock would have been. If you're detecting a certain sense of smugness from the back of the boat here, that would be because Taters is getting to experience what it's like to be off work screwing around while everybody else is apparently back at home working and things. It is just night and day. It hasn't been like this empty for a while now. Fortunately, we'll probably run into some tugs or something. And we are just having to dodge some barges that are rafted up, and that one over on the right is actually actively being loaded. So we can always tell whether the barges are loaded or not because they ride significantly lower when they're full. So this is kind of cool. We've been watching them unload while we're getting closer. So that boat started coming over closer, and then they're like, hey, are you guys doing Source to Sea? They chased us down to give us cold coffee.
Jerry and Darcy and Mike and Patty.
Thank you again. Good luck, stay safe. They've apparently been following us, and they saw us paddle by, so they booked it over here in their boat to give us, let's see, coffee, fresh strawberries, and chocolate cookies. We are going to be so caffeinated today. Taters, we are paddling until midnight. That really cheered us up. And it sounded like they'd actually been expecting us here for the last day or two. So they must have been constantly watching out back and then saw something paddle by and zoomed out. And apparently Taters really likes cold brew because she keeps drinking my cold brew.
They gave it to both of us.
In about another 6 hours, there is going to be a caffeine crash on this boat, and it is not going to be pretty. And if that looks like a thunderstorm up ahead, they do seem to be in the area. We pulled over for a snack break, and apparently so Jen can give herself heart palpitations. I don't think she realizes how much caffeine is in there, but... Anyway, there are thunderstorms all over the place. We actually got a lightning alert that said 99 strikes in the 24-mile radius, but it doesn't seem like it's going to hit us, at least for the moment. And presumably that would be where those 99 lightning bolts came from. It's fine, Jen. It's fine.
It is fine. You showed me the radar, and we're staying right between the storms.
Yeah.
Very lucky.
And you know how reliable the weather reports have been. And here something comes. We've been hearing thunder pretty much non-stop. Oh. We are so much more fashionable now. Wow. Man, Jen, that storm behind you looks like, what the hell are people doing on the water levels? Fun times. Are we having fun yet?
Yes!
And then the thumb was struck by lightning. See, we're not the only people out here. We have them dredging, and then there is a tugboat we've heard talking on the radio. Still no funnel clouds, which is a shame because I have a great episode name that would work. Got the thumbnail idea. All we need is one right behind Jen, right about like there.
No, please stop wishing for that. We never want to see a funnel cloud when we're on the water.
I don't know, Jen. Feels like it would be a problem from shore also, just saying. Oh, I think the torrential rain just hit us. The torrential downpour part of the storm just reached us. So in addition to getting like that much water in the bottom, we were able to get this out. Unfortunately, it seems to be fading a bit now. Kind of wonder what they think we're up to.
Matt did say earlier today, and I quote, "The only thing that would make this better is a tailwind."
You forgot the topless volleyball girls.
So I think we can say we have now achieved a perfect day on the river.
So yeah, the rain came down a fair amount there. So I just got yelled at by Miss Gigglinator back there because one of those rain things was looking a little thicker, and I got excited that maybe it was a twister and we were about to have the best YouTube thumbnail ever. And yes, Taters is not quite as positive thinking as certain people in this boat. Also, unfortunately, the wind is now going against us. Got a short while with our sail. And Jen is in a giggly mood for whatever reason.
You just want to get that achievement on your weather app.
If you use the Carrot weather app, it actually has weather-based achievements. And if you're in the zone with a tornado, you get a cow dodger achievement, which seemed pretty cool. And so as we were getting hammered back there, I'm like, good news! This is gonna happen. And I was also like designing the thumbnail because I figured if we can get like me and Jen and the tornado, you know, funnel of love, great title. She's laughing now. In the moment, she was a little more upset.
Because you shouldn't even joke about wishing for that.
Joke about wishing. I wasn't really joking. That was more of like a straight wish, you know? I mean, that would have been pretty epic because that's actually a nuclear power station. And I was watching this documentary called Sharknado. And so I know what happens when a tornado hits a nuclear plant. And here we go yet again, minus the wind. So I actually just called Lock 14 on a cell phone because they actually have a recreational lock, and I was hoping maybe we could go through that. Turns out that's not running, and he said he's got north and southbound traffic coming through, so to let him know, and he would do his best. This looks like it might be complicated at the lock because we've got a big cruise ship, a little cruise ship, the tug that just passed us, and we can just see another tug around the corner. Also, it's like, I don't know, 2 hours before dark. I was kind of shocked to see cruise ships this big on the river, but we've now seen a couple of them. We've been dodging around barges that are conspicuously pulled over. We think that it may be due to a line up ahead. We're going to go up to the lock, talk to them, and see. We may have to camp on this side. See, this has been such a sociable day. There was a lady over there who was yelling at her boyfriend to go get the camera as we were going by. Wanted a picture of us and to know what we were doing, and got really excited.
Oh, I feel so special.
Yeah, I was more excited about the restaurant next door called the Hungry Hobo, because I'm like, that appears to be, if it was just said the Hungry Hobo featuring beer and nachos, I would have moved in there. Screw the paddling, but Jen says I have to keep going towards this lock that's not gonna let me go through. We think that's the lock up ahead, which means we find out if we're gonna have to hobo it next to the freeway or make it across. I mean, it's probably not the best sign that it's almost 8 o'clock and just started raining on us again. Still no funnels of love also. So when we called the lock, they said that there is a narrow window because they've got traffic going both ways. And they also told us to stay clear of a ship, which we're assuming is that. So we are basically trying to pull over into this corner, wait for that to go, and then hopefully they sneak us in. Okay, and this is the guy that we're supposed to keep clear of. They said they're going to call us back once he's clear. Just watch out for his wash and we should be able to slip through. We have seen tugs going into the locks, but I think this is the first time we've come across one coming out. Yeah, they just fit us in between the barge and their helper craft, and this is a weird lock. All the others have been much taller. So far, we've taken care not to be out on the water while it's dark, so we were both stressing a little bit about whether we'd be able to get through this lock, anticipating that there might be an hour or two delay if they were working on getting one of those oversized barges through. Fortunately, it worked out just about perfect, and the guy managed to get us in while they were cycling the lock.
And now there's a tugboat waiting for us on the other side. We heard them over the radio. They nicely offered to get out of our way.
Sounds kind of nefarious. They're like waiting to jump us up.
So we greatly appreciate when things about 1,000 times our size get out of our way.
1,000? I question your math. This is what Taters thinks is apparently 1,000 times bigger than her.
No, I didn't see it. I thought it was one of the big ones, like the Robert Ingram or the Cooperative Venture.
The Cooperative. That's not us. We've just heard people talking about them in that way. And this is over there. Pretty sky.
And the reflection.
And a reflection.
It's pretty.
Okay. I'm doing what you asked. God, she's gotten punchy today. And it is now 8:40. We have some beta that somebody once camped on the tip of that island, so we're gonna go check that out. There is a campground, but we're after hours and there's no way to get a hold of the office. Otherwise, we have to just try and find something in the middle of all the various houses and everything.
Also, we like having islands to ourselves.
This is a populated island. We have a corner of the island to ourselves.
No, we're gonna take the little one, right?
No, it's the tip of the big one.
Oh, can we take the little one instead?
And Taters wanted to do the small island, so we're going to at least check that. Our beta is somebody stayed over there. And now Blondie goes into the trees behind we think it's a hunting blind or something. So that's the lock over there. Funny thing is, every other lock we've been through seems like it was undeveloped on the far side. Not sure why, but it seems like it's all like open beaches and trees. So we figured, oh, maybe we'll be good on the other side. This is the first one where there seems like there's houses the entire way. I'm assuming this is some sort of a hunter blind, but it doesn't make sense. We've seen a couple of them on the island. It has been kind of fun being out in these quasi-urban environments, out on some little island.
Today featured an exciting rainstorm that did not overstay its welcome, thankfully. Getting to get the sail out, friendly, excited people to talk to, and a smooth lockage through one of the very busy locks. Once we got through the lock, we probably started looking for a camp. Matt humored me by going over to the little island, and we found a sandy spot and set up right away because it was getting dark. Only to realize after we had set up that our tent is surrounded by poison ivy, which neither of us are allergic to, thankfully. And when the wind stops blowing, we're getting whiffs of something that smells kind of bad, like there might be a dead animal around. We haven't been able to find it. So maybe I should have listened to him and gone over to the big island. Oh well, home sweet home for the night.
Please, Matthew? Catch Frey!